Hello. So, this is going to be my first ever video on my channel. So, um, basically, this is going to be a sort of like fan fiction type thing. Specifically, you know that certain YouTuber by the name of what's his face, Leon Milky Stories. At least I think that's the name of his channel. It's basically his what ifs, or at least his type of like faction, fan fiction type stories, where they basically have their own like, or at least have like an original character most of the time. Like for example, it's like more recent what ifs or fan fictions. Like for example, E3 Kingdom's Legacy, even though technically he more or less basically has a character from from Tokyo, yeah, Tokyo Revengers. I was about to say Tokyo Ravens, but it's a pretty good anime if you're wondering. But either way, let's continue on. So, this story I decided to call Fate. Remnant Collide. So, let's begin, shall we, ladies and gents? So, we first start off our story in, well, our world, or at least a place that's similar to our world, where we currently see two people fighting on a large, building. In this large building, there was also a large pillar, and that pillar holds a large, not really large, but more like an average size, goblet that is golden, and seems to be flowing with almost magical energy. As the man that seems to be, a little bit tired and also, somewhat damaged would say this. Had enough. As the man right beside him would say this. Hardly. You're nothing more than a child, playing a so-called mage. As he would say this. Right. But I'll still win, no matter what. As he would grab something, and that something was a red spear. You probably know this spear already, as he would say this. Now, I'll make you pay. As his eyes would start burning, as he would say this, for everything, for my family, for my mother, father, brother. Now, strike true. Guy Bug! He would say, as he would charge towards the man, as he would slash through him, as he would stab him right in the stomach. After doing so, he would say, bastard, he would say, as he would basically throw a punch. After doing so, he would be thrown, back a little bit, as the man would see this. Caught me. As he would start coughing up a bit of blood, as the large man, which seems to have what somewhat, goldenish hair, or should I say platinum blonde, as he would say this. You little kid. Being the so-called heir of the Fulls Fungus family of mages is still quite a surprise. Not only that, you're also the son of that so-called mage killer, or at least the new generation of mage killer. Either way, you're gonna die here, as you would say this. Like I said, I'm not gonna let you win. Now, assassin! He would say. As he would say, what? He would look up, he would try and look, somewhere, or at least look everywhere, thinking that he's going to be attacked. But out of nowhere, something would appear behind him. As the assassin that this man, aka our protagonist, has. The assassin would resemble. The woman would appear. The woman seems to be about like 30 years old, with golden eyes and pure with pure platinum hair, as in completely like silverish. As she would wield, well, surprisingly, a large ass looking Iron Maiden, as she would also wield some sort of staff. As she would say this, take this, Iron Maiden, she would say, as the Iron Maiden would basically open up and would basically trap the man, tearing him apart with all the spikes inside. As the man would scream out, you little... As all of the spikes would activate and killing him in an instant. After doing so, the man would fall to his death. As the man would say this, "Not bad, assassin." As the woman would say this, "Well, you are my master after all." As he would say this, "I did it. I finally got my revenge. Now for the Holy Grail," he would say. As he would start, start like, going towards the Holy Grail. As several stairs would appear out of nowhere. As he would start walking up the stairs, his breath was heavy, but he was excited, finally getting ready to get what he was always, meant to have, the Holy Grail, something that his family always wanted him to get. When he reached there, he grabbed the Holy Grail and wished. He wished for one of the, one of the true magics. After doing so, he would be brought to a land filled with flowers, as a large tower would appear out of nowhere, or at least, in the distance. As in the middle of the field was a woman, dressed in all white. You would know that girl. It's an Einsburn homunculus. As he would start walking towards it, as he would see this, "So, you're the one who's supposed to give me one of the true magics, right?" As the woman would look towards him, as she would say this, "Yes, it's a pleasure to meet you. Now, for your magic." As she would reach towards his hand, as she would grab it, as she would say, "You'll be given the 10th magic. Grand order," she would say. As he would say this, "Thank you." But in exchange, as after saying this, the man would say this, "What is it exactly?" As she would say this, "Well, unfortunately the magic is too powerful for you, even if your magic circuits are quite powerful. Especially because, well, you see, you also have the 7th magic currently in your body, thanks to help of your father winning wait for a second, winning the 10th Holy Grail." As he would say this, "I see. Very well then. If I die, then I pretty much fulfilled everything I needed. But I want you to, grant me this one wish as well." As she would say this, "Really? Then what is it?" As he would say this, "I want to be reincarnated with every single memory that I had, my talents, everything. I also want to be a normal kid. A world where I can be a normal kid with every single magic that I had." I mean, it's pretty much a crazy idea, but as you would hear behind him, "Well, well, well, it seems like a crazy idea, but I can certainly help with that." As you would look behind him, right in front of him was a man, almost young, in fact. You would already know the man, as you would say this. "You're Merlin, the Grand Caster." As he would say this, "Well, right. So, you're wanting to become, well, a normal kid again. That is certainly quite the wish. I can certainly help with that. But, well, because you're going to be, sort of reincarnating, well, you're going to be transferred to another world, unfortunately." As he would say this, "I see. Well then I'll gladly do it." As he would say this, "Certainly. But first, tell me your name, young man." As he would say this, "My name? Well, my name is Alistair. Alistair Tempesta." As, Merlin would say this. "Very well then. I'll gladly let you, get reincarnated. But let's just say this new world is certainly gonna be, well, interesting to say the least, he would say, as he would say this. Very well, thank you. As he would say this. Hmm. Now, I hope you're going to be happy there. Because it's definitely not going to be, you know, well, somewhat normal there. As after saying that, he would say this. What is that supposed to mean? As he would say this. Oh, nothing. Anyway, toodaloo. As he would disappear. AKA Alistair. After that, the screen would go dark. Or at least, the scene, or at least whatever you want to call it. After that, we go to a different perspective. We currently see a woman. A woman in a white cloak. Wait for a second. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing on. We currently see somebody in the woods. This person seems to have the um sorry, technical difficulties right there. We currently see a man with black hair and reddish eyes, as he's going through the woods, as he would say this. Seriously, certainly this village is definitely bad. As he would start looking around, seeing the village, or at least the village that he's in, is completely ravaged. As he was currently, wielding some sort of sword. As he would say this. Certainly there's no survivors here. I can definitely tell that, he would say. As after saying that, he would slowly start hearing something. Crying? As after hearing that, he would start looking towards the direction of the crying, as he would say, "Well, hot damn," he would say. As after saying that, he would start going towards the noise. After arriving at the noise, he would see a baby? The baby seems to have, normal baby features. The almost like, chubby cheeks, and also the, well, surprisingly, not really normal baby features. Like, for example, oh, I don't know, maybe like, um, little tattoos around him, and most prominently, a weird looking mark on his hand. It seems to resemble some sort of dragon, but the dragon seems to be covering, the entire body with its one wing. And there's two other faces on the side. And the mark seems to be purely just crimson. As you would say this. Huh, I guess that kid's lucky then. But, where the hell am I going to bring him? I'm not, I'm definitely not going to bring him to an orphanage, especially with orphanages lately, he would say. As after saying that, he would start taking a swig from his, little like flask. As after doing so, he would look at the kid once again, as he seems to have silverish hair, but most prominently, his eyes would open, as his eyes would be pure gold, or at least somewhat gold, as he would say this. I guess I'll be keeping him for now, he would say, as he would grab the kid and would look at the, people right beside him, more specifically, the dead bodies, as he would say this. Poor kid. Whatever, he would say, as he would grab the kid as he would start leaving the village. And so, this is where we're going to be leaving this, part off here. So, yeah, this is basically going to be the end of this, of this episode. And if you're wondering, wait, is this some sort of like Fate What If? Or, RWBY What If? Well, it's basically a crossover. I've had this idea for a while now, mostly because of like, fan fiction that I heard from like, from a certain Wattpad. Anyway, I really wanted to make this, but because I'm not really interested in like making like a Wattpad story, because not really like, don't really, I'm not really good at writing like at all. So yeah, I decided to do this. So yeah, so this is going to be the end of this episode. And so, I hope you liked the video, and please support me by subscribing, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye!